the newly formed Rashtriya Swatantra Party that will have a significant presence in the parliament.
Rastriya Swatantra Party and Rashtriya Swatantra Party have won 7 seats each.
Nepali people have spoken loudly. They are not the permanent vote bank of traditional parties and their leaders. Everyone in Nepal is talking about a political party that didn't even exist until July.
स्वतन्त्रलाई
त्यही स्वतन्त्रमै हाल्न पर्ला यसपालि भोट हालिन्छ स्वतन्त्रलाई
अब स्वतन्त्रै मान्छे स्वतन्त्रै भन्नु पर्यो.
The new election has generated hope for change against the status quo in Nepal. This is the story of hope against the status quo. The democracy in Nepal is evolving in exciting ways. Even in world politics, such incidents have rarely happened. This is the first event in the political history of Nepal. Because no political party had achieved this level of electoral success within a few months of the formation of the party. The party name, Rastriya Swatantra Party, RSP, which was formed just 5 months ago by TV anchor Rabi Lamichhane, has won 7 seats through direct voting and is likely to get 15 seats through a proportional election system. The RSP has swept 4 out of 10 from Kathmandu. Recently, Nepal's voting for the federal election was held on the 20th of November 2022 for 275 seats of the House of Representatives. The House, with 165 members elected under a direct voting system from 165 constituencies, and 110 are elected through the proportional election system. These members will have to elect a new Prime Minister days after the final results are declared. Results show that Rastriya Swatantra Party is emerging as a new kingmaker with at least 22 seats in the parliament. No party seems to have a single majority. At least 138 seats are needed to form the government by getting a majority in the 275 total members of the House of Representatives. In the elections, various parties formed alliances with other parties. RSP is ringing the bell of those traditional parties. The temple bell is also the election symbol of RSP. People had been voting for the mainstream political parties over the years. However, this time couldn't remain untouched by the waving favor of the Rastriya Swatantra Party, RSP. With no political party heading towards a clear majority in the House, bigger parties like Nepali Congress and CPNUML will have no choice but to forge alliances with parties like RSP. The governance and the issues of public welfare were the main agenda of RSP. Young candidates from Rastriya Swatantra Party not only have risen in politics on their own, they have also defeated political heavyweights who considered themselves infallible, blinded as they were by the harsh lights of power. Now, let's talk about the reasons behind this victory. Rabi Lamichhane, the president of the RSP, has a huge fan following due to the TV program he hosted for a couple of years. He often came down heavily on the political parties, politicians, and top officials for their wrongdoings through his TV program. He also conducted some sting operations to expose incidents of bribery. He rescued some Nepali migrant workers who were caught in a crisis in a foreign country. Such initiatives made Lamichhane popular among Nepali migrant workers and students studying abroad. Though there were people who criticized the way he hosted the TV show, there were also people who were very much impressed by his aggressive style of grilling leaders, bureaucrats, and others involved in wrongdoings. He would follow such cases based on public complaints, and that helped him become popular among the masses. There are hundreds of Nepali youths abroad who had sought help from Lamichhane. In this election, the same people urged their family members to vote for Lamichhane and his party. Lamichhane, who contested the election from Chitwan II, won the election by a huge margin. Political analyst says the RSP's strong results show that voters are fed up with the same old faces. those traditional parties and their leaders led the people astray, made outlandish promises they never kept, and yet they were re-elected time and time again. Not this time. They could not fool all the people all the time. So voters have been able to register their disappointment with the political parties and leaders who have ruled the roost since 1992. Nepal's voters said enough is enough. The general population is not satisfied with mainstream political parties fighting elections through alliances. They have rejected the status quo and put their trust in a new generation of representatives far removed from the current state of affairs. The despair that was the result of misgovernance has given way to a new optimism. Upcoming challenges for Rashtriya Swatantra Party. The RSP's manifesto and ideologies are vague in details, but it is clear its performance is the result of the discontent against traditional parties. Their candidates cannot be slotted under an ideological umbrella either. But ideology has long seemed to be dead in Nepal. The next 5 years will be crucial, not just for the newer parties who've made a mark, but also for the older lot. Unless they cede space to younger voices and reform existing party and state mechanisms, the newer parties will eat into their voter base.